Hello, Wednesday. I'm getting quicker. I'm definitely getting quicker with recognizing what day it is. For sure. I just took a nootropic. I took two nootropics, blend, and I don't know if anyone else gets this, but like sometimes I feel like I've got like a tablet stuck somewhere in my chest, in my esophagus, I guess. I'm hoping it's not. But it does feel like it. So I am getting ready. Wednesday is our last day here. We leave tomorrow, and I feel like I've got loads to do. I was up until 1 last night doing work, and I couldn't get to sleep then because my brain was racing. And I just said to Cam, it might be because I took these nootropics at like 6 p.m. last night and they got caffeine in, not much, but there's all the other stimulants that's in there as well, like natural herbs. Um, So, maybe that's partly to do with it as well, but partly because I've got loads to do. So today, I've got a couple of calls. We're supposed to record a podcast this morning also, but we haven't done that yet. I've got to go to the gym, got to pack, and got to follow up. Oh, I'm releasing my cortisol guide today. Yay! Sorry about the delay. I have been like, I want to add this, I want to add this, I want to change that, I want to make this better. And I'm one of those people who will just consistently work on something until I think it's perfect. So the perfectionist in me has had to just shut up, basically. And I've had to just, it's good enough. It's good enough. I want to get out there because people are waiting and it will never be perfect in my eyes, I don't think. So it's coming out today. So if you're on the list, if you have signed up for it, the first lot that come out are free, and then after that, it's going to be paid. So if you've signed up for it and you get it today, then you'll have it for free. If you haven't signed up for it but you want it for free, message me cortisol, and I will send it over as a cortisol, as in the stress hormone, because that's what it's about. It's about stress, about how to reduce it, the impact on fat loss, the impact on health, and all of the other stuff. Hey YouTube, where's that? So today I said to Cam, like, I don't know, what shall we talk about? What should I talk about today? And he was like, give some practical advice. What did you do to lose your weight? And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about something that I did every single day in order to lose weight. And so it'll just lose 40 pounds. Something I did every single day to lose 40 pounds. And what I will say is, over the period, I did do different things. So when I first started to lose weight, I did some stupid things. And then obviously when I was building muscle, I did different things. And then afterwards, again, back to, weight loss. I was doing different things again. So I'm going to talk about almost like the first stint I did, I guess, the healthy things that I did at the first stint when I was losing weight. So this will help you lose 20 pounds. I can honestly say this will help you lose 20 pounds. And it's very, very simple things to do. Okay. So the simple things that I did and I still aim to do. So now I'm on this like weight loss kick. I can't be as on it as I'd like to be because my my priorities are different now to when I first started to try and lose weight. But there are things that I do and did do daily. So the first thing was to set my goal, right? I knew that I wanted to be under 140 pounds. That was my goal. And some people would be, and myself, I would be like, shouldn't really have a weight loss goal, shouldn't have like a scale goal. But for me, I think it's important to have some sort of goal. Also, if you're 145 pounds and you're looking good, you're feeling good, then obviously that is more important than hitting the scale weight. So you've got to be flexible with your goal. But you've got to have a direction to go in, right? It's like saying, I want to build a company, or I want to get this job. I want to be the director, I want to be in the C-suite. But then you kind of, on your way up, you're upper management, not quite like director level yet. And you realize, actually, do you know what? I've seen what the people above have to do. And I don't want it. I want a work-life balance. I don't want to be like working till 10 p.m. and then get back in for 6. So you have to be flexible with your goals as you get to them. But some of the easiest things you could do, and this is what I did every single day, was when I set my goal and knew why. Also, it's not just about setting goals, why I'm having a goal was I looked for opportunities anywhere possible. I would look for an opportunity. So I would walk instead of getting the bus or drive. Right? So I used to work in town, which is about a mile, a little over a mile, maybe a mile and a half from my house. So in the morning, when I used to work on a Saturday in a bridal shop. I used to kind of like rush in. I used to power walk my way into work. Could have got a bus, could have got lift, I could have driven, I guess, but that would be noised. So every day I would like set my timer on my watch. I'd walk into work and I would time it, I'd stop the timer. And then the next week, or if I was doing the next shift, I would do the same. Or I would time myself and try and beat it. And every time I went in, I would just try and beat it. We've got a client, Samantha, who wants to kind of, well, she does like a power walk and then she started like doing like little runs in between. And so what she does is focuses on the next lamppost. Lamppost to lamppost. How fast can I do? I'm just going to get to the next lamppost. And that's the thing. I used to do this also when I was running. Note, cardio is not in this habit list. But when I did used to, or even like on the treadmill or whatever, I'd be like, it's just 400 meters. It's just to the next lamppost. It's just to the bin. It's just to the wherever. And so having those like little, almost like mini goals will keep you going. And we all know people run quicker, or not necessarily run, but people will push harder towards the end of their goal versus at the beginning and in the middle. So you might start and be like, oh yeah, well, I'm super motivated. But then, it kind of dips throughout your period or whatever. And then when you're almost at the goal, it's like, right, one hard push and you give it everything you've got. And that is the way that most people work. Most people, obviously depends. But that is super important to have those like mini goals and look for opportunities. So I spoke about the, trying to get quicker at walking, but other things. I would take the stairs. If there was an escalator or a lift, I'd be like, no, or an elevator, I should say. I'd say, no, I'm not doing that. I am going to take the stairs. Can I open this? Oh, I bet I bloody can't now. It's not my nail. I would park, if I was going to drive, I would park further away from the shop. Particularly if you've got a food shop, right? You don't want to be carrying, like, all your chicken and your milk and your potatoes. I mean, give it a good go. You build some muscle. But, it's not realistic. You take a lot of steps, so a lot of journeys. So what you could do is just park a little bit further away from the store. So you have to walk. I used to park the furthest away, and if I had any passengers, they were not happy about it. But ultimately, like, it's not going to harm, is it? Let's be honest. It's like an extra, 50 meters or something. But if you do that consistently, then you're going to have extra 50 meters, extra 50 meters, extra 50 meters, and it's just going to compound. At work, when I was working in an office, my corporate job, I would do things like make sure that I filled up my water and went back, and then I'd go to the toilet and walk back. I wouldn't go to the toilet on the way to get water and then walk back. There is this thing going on TikTok that I saw. It's like something called like less touches or something like that. So it's like, and this is how my brain normally works. It's like, how can I be most productive? So on the way to the toilet, I could drop this in the bin, right? Makes more sense. But what I used to do when I was trying to lose weight is I would go to the toilet, then I'd come back, and then I'd go and put that thing in the bin. So even though it takes an extra 20 seconds or whatever to do that extra walk, you're burning more calories, you're staying more active, you're moving more. And you were going to have to do it anyway. So why not take a bit of an extra few steps, extra 30 seconds to do it? I always tell the story that I remember when I was doing my laundry one day, I, well, often actually, but back in the day, I'd take all my clothes upstairs, put them all in the bed, and then I would like take one pair of socks and put them in the drawer. Then I'd walk back to the bed, pick up the next pair of socks, walk back, put them in the drawer, walk back, pick up the socks, walk back. And I would do that every individual clothing article so that I was moving more. Even like 1 calorie here, 1 calorie there, just constantly trying to look for opportunities to move just a little bit more. And if you constantly do that, constantly choosing the walk in, you're choosing to get a little bit quicker, you're setting these mini goals when it comes to activity, you're going to start to not only feel better because you're moving more often, which is really good for you, but you also actually start to hit your goal. You get closer and closer to your goal. And obviously that is then going to feel motivating for you. And then you're more likely to stick with it. And then you're going to push, go in. Actually, I'll set a different goal. I'll push a little bit harder. So that will start a rhythm. And also, I don't know about you guys, but if I've been to the gym, definitely used to feel this way. When I've been to the gym, like, well, I've just done that. I'm not going to screw it up now by like binging on crap, right? And or you're starting to hit your goal. You're like, right, I'm in momentum now. I don't want to screw up my goal. I don't screw up my progress. So that you start now choosing better food, and that's another impact. Talk of another choice on food. When we went food shopping, I remember once Cam and I, it wasn't long into our dating history, and it was hammering down with rain in Swansea. So it was just a normal day in Swansea. And we had to get our steps in. So we'd walked because it wasn't raining. It was like a half-hour stint where it wasn't raining. And then when we got about 4 miles out, it started to rain. And we were like, oh, God's sake, like, we got to walk all the way back and wherever. So we went into Tesco's and we walked up and down every single aisle. And then we went to the, what is it? Some sort of like kitchen, the kitchen place Ren. Went into Ren and then we walked around there. I wasn't looking for a kitchen, but we walked around anyway just to get more steps in the inside, in the indoors. I work in the rain. So you might be like, oh, it takes too long. But you'll spend that time on Instagram scrolling, and TikTok scrolling, right? So it's about priorities. It does take a little bit longer. Do you know what? You got yourself into this mess. You need to fucking put some effort into getting out. Yes. Sass is back. It's true though. Sometimes you need a little kick up the arse and be like, actually, do you know what? I fucked up. So they are some of the movement things that I did every day. And just by doing those on, even if you don't change your diet, even if you do those and everything else stays the same, you will start to lose weight. You'll start to look different and feel different. Okay. Nutrition wise, I remember when I first started, not necessarily dieting because I used to do all the stupid shit, but when I started to understand nutrition is what I should say, I knew that protein was important, obviously. And I remember I was on a live, I was like seeing someone's live once, and it was Dr. Jim Stepani, and he's like one of my OG heroes. He's the person that got me into fitness and weight loss in the first place, who taught me and gave me that passion to start to learn about nutrition. So I was on one of his live streams once, and I remember asking, like, does it matter if you go over your calories as long as you hit your protein? And this is a question I get all the time, and honestly, I don't think he gave me the right answer, but he said no. And do you know what? For that while then, I didn't count calories. I concentrated on macros. I concentrated on protein, and that was it. I didn't really care about my calories. I just concentrated on hitting my protein target. And with Jim Stepani, it is a high protein target, guys. It's not. I mean, you guys think 1 gram per pound is hard. This was like 2. This is like 2 grams per pound. So if you were 150 pounds, he's basically suggesting, from what I remember, 300 grams of protein, which is freaking insane. That is hard. And 300 grams of protein would be 1,200 calories, right? So already you're at 1,200 calories if you're hitting it. Now, that is a hard number, and I wouldn't recommend it typically for people. But when people come into our program, it's very, 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 very rare that we give them a calorie target. Very rare, because our priority is getting them to their protein. Having a high protein diet means that you burn more calories when you eat them. So say you eat 100 calories of protein, you actually only absorb about 80 of those calories, 70 to 80 of those calories. 20 to 30 of those calories disappear. They don't disappear. They get used when you're digesting the food, but you still don't, consume. You don't absorb all of the calories you eat. So you're already feeling fuller because you're eating more, but the calories aren't being absorbed, so you're not gaining as much calories. Protein is also super filling. Has anyone ever had like 1,000, 2,000 calories on pizza? Easy, right? McDonald's is like 3,000 calories. Have you ever tried eating 3,000 calories of chicken breast, pure chicken breast? No, because you couldn't do it. You'd be like, oh. You'd be looking at it, you'd be clucking like a chicken, right? So protein is very highly satiated. Yes, animal proteins are better for you and more beneficial for you than plant-based proteins. I'm sorry for any of the vegans. I'm sorry. You can't battle science, right? You can't battle science. So having an omnivorous diet, when you eat protein, animals and plants, is better for you. So eating your protein is going to be the priority, even if you're not counting calories. I don't care. Hit your protein. That is the priority. And what you'll also find is you're too full and you won't eat as much crap, basically. So that's the other thing. Also, studies have shown that even if you're in an energy surplus, this is wild. This is where the scientific bros online go, this is not right. Fucking can't argue with science. They have found that even if you eat over your calories, but that calories that you've overeaten is protein, then people have actually lost weight and lost body fat. So there we go. If you want to be able to eat more, bump up your protein. That is key, absolute key. I don't mean having an egg on breakfast, right? That's not eating high protein breakfast. One egg, and even 2 eggs. Come on, guys, buy yourself a chicken. Don't eat that chicken afterwards. But at least get it to, or hen, I should say, get it to lay some eggs. But yeah, super important to have that high protein diet. What else do I do? Drink a lot of water, which, as I say this, I'm going to rehydrate here. Like at least 2.5 liters a day, guys. 80 to 100 ounces if you're over there in the States. 2.5 to 3 liters if you're in the UK and maybe Australia. I can't remember. But yeah, you need to be drinking your water. Why aren't you drinking your water? What I would say also is go to the gym. Just do it. I know it's scary. I know you're worried that people are going to look at you and people might judge you and you don't look like that girl and you feel way more comfortable in class or just walking on the treadmill for an hour. But that is not going to get you to where you want to be. Flat out. I'm just going to make that statement. There we go. And I will also generalize here, but from what I have experienced and what I've heard and what I've seen, think about this. Who are the bullies in school? Right? I was definitely bullied in school. They were the people who were popular at the time, who kind of didn't give a shit. They were just like, they smoked, did drugs, didn't do well in class. They would just concentrate on being cool. And that stems from a lot of insecurity. Yeah. So generally bullies are bullies because they're insecure in themselves and they have to push that insecurity somewhere else to make themselves feel better. Great. So if all the insecure people are going to the classes because they feel too insecure to go to the free weights, by that logic, the people in the classes would be more judgmental of you than the people who are at the free weights, right? And this is honestly, this is what I've seen, this is what I've heard, is that the people in classes and people on treadmills that are just, just go do an hour on the elliptical and then leave, don't do any weightlifting, are generally more insecure and therefore more judgmental. I know that was a very broad sweep, but I think you understand what I'm getting. Whereas the people who are weightlifting, they know, guys, they know it is hard. They know the battle. They do it. They've probably done it for a long time. If you think, oh my God, they're buff. And they know the grind. They know how hard it is, and they're always willing to help. So ask people for help. But yeah, going to the gym was like the big thing for me, because I started to believe in myself. I started to be like, do you know what? Holy shit, I can lift 100 kilograms off the ground. Oh my God. I don't even weigh 100 kilograms. Like, I can lift up double me. What the hell's happening? And then that brings confidence. And when you're confident, well, not even just the actual weight that you lift, but the ability to believe in yourself and follow through with activities and things that you said you were going to do. I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week. I went to the gym 3 days a week. Great. Okay, now I'm going to do that for another 2 weeks. Maybe I'm going to try 4 times a week. Maybe I'm going to hit my water, hit my steps, hit my protein. And all of these things will compound your confidence, because now you're like, I'm doing all the things I'm telling myself that I'm going to do. I'm going to fucking do that. So that confidence then goes from the gym to you. And then that goes from you into work, or into the bedroom, or into friendships, or into anything. Living the life that you want to, versus the life that is you're putting up with. You're like, it's not so bad, is it? Like, no one wants that life. Okay, no one wants a life that's fine. You don't want to be on your deathbed and be like, my life was fine. Didn't really do what I wanted to. Didn't live the life I wanted. It wasn't how I planned. Would have done things different. No one wants that. Everyone wants to be like, you know what? I fucking lived a good life. Do you remember that time when we did X, Y, Z? Do you remember that time that I did this? Or, oh my God, I shit myself that one time, but I did it and it was freaking awesome. That is the life that you want to reflect on, not like a mediocre one. Or for me, at least. This was a different chat I was going to talk about, but I'll leave that maybe just tomorrow. But that confidence then is going to spur you on to hit your goal, finally. And then maybe you'll set another goal, a more challenging goal. Maybe you push yourself. Maybe it'll be something that you're like, oh, I didn't think I'd get here, let alone here. And so then you become better and better and better. So they are basically, oh yeah. And the final thing was, I surrounded myself with people who were into the same kind of stuff as me. So my current friends at the time weren't really into weightlifting. We all did pole fitness together. That's how I got this friendship group. Or I worked with them. But they weren't really into lifting. They weren't really into self-development. They didn't recognize when I had that PB, I'd walk into work and I'd be like, normally it takes me 15 minutes. Today it took me 14 minutes and 20 seconds. That's like 40 seconds quicker. And they'd be like, oh, that's nice. And I'm like, you can celebrate with me. I did a good job. Celebrate with me. And so I surrounded myself with people that were doing similar things, not necessarily, doing weights or wanting to get lean or whatever, but in that growth zone. So I used an app, and all my friends are online at this point, my fitness friends. I used an app called Under Armour Record. And I met some good friends on there, and I'm still friends with one of them, actually, Jason. And I remember Jason was like one of the ones who would be so proud of me. I'd be like, oh my God, when I was running, I'd be like, oh, I got this time. And he'd be like, I'm so proud of you, Faye. He's American. So proud of you, Faye. And having that community where you could share your wins and be the support to others as well is such a joyous feeling. It's such a warm feeling. And be like, you know what? Other people believe in me. I can fucking do it. If they believe me, then why the hell don't I? And I've got to stop believing in myself. And then likewise, you then push that onto other people. Like, you've got this, you can do this. So that, I get goosebumps, like that community is such an important part to anyone's growth. And this is why I am so proud and so protective over our community. So our client community and our busy women's community. I'm very protective of who gets in. I'm very protective of what is said, freedom of speech and everything, but I won't have any people picking on people, no bullying. It's very rare. We've had to kick like 1 or 2 people out of the group for saying things that I don't think were okay. So we booted those out. But generally, we are super focused on building this community of people who want each other to win. And so community for me is a big, 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 big deal, as you might imagine. So then the things I did, I set myself a goal and understood why I wanted it. For me, I wanted to lose weight, but it wasn't because I wanted to lose weight. It was because I wanted to do something that I'd never done before. I wanted to be better. And I remember like I would see on films and on TV shows that, this is going to sound really corny now, but like when you see these really successful people and they're in LA and they're like in a mountain running or like doing a trail run or whatever, and they've got that go for Faye, that headphone on. And I'd be like, wow, hey Jen, that person is successful. Like, I want to be successful like that. So I wanted to be better. It's not that I wanted to be like a famous, I wanted to be successful. And for me, success is growth of yourself. So I wanted to be successful. So I wanted to do something challenging that I'd never done before, which was lose weight, get strong. Then I got obsessed with it. And so here I am. So that was my goal. I surrounded myself with people online that wanted me to win and knew that I could, and who I could support on their journey as well, offering support. I set myself like mini goals in between. So can I get faster at my walk? Can I take the stairs or more movement, I guess? Can I take the stairs instead of the lift? Can I park further away from the store? Can I take more steps, take more journeys to the toilet or to get water or to the bathroom or to the cupboard, wherever it's going to be, as much as possible. And when I was shopping, I would there was no one helping me. I was like, I'm carrying all of this, all of it, strong. So that, eating a high protein diet, don't even care if you count calories, hit you down protein, drank loads of water. I think they are the main things I did. They're like the top 5 things I did off the top of my head. Maybe I'll do like a full podcast episode on this to really like nail them. But yeah, and go to the gym and lift weights. If I didn't say that just now, go to the gym, lift weights. So that is basically how I got I lost 40 pounds. And then from there, my confidence grew. I started speaking up in meetings. I started doing big things in work, leading or writing strategy, leading international strategy, things that I didn't think I'd be capable of, like just even 12 months prior, speaking up for myself, advocating for myself. And that then led to where I am today, which is a totally different story. But that is it, guys. I hope that you've got value. Hope you've got those 5 or 6 things written down. And if there's anything I can help you with, of course, let me know. I would love to hear your story about the things that you have found really helpful in your weight loss journey as well. And that way we can share, we can inspire each other. And there we go, build this community as well. So that's it. Have a great Wednesday, and I'll speak to you guys soon.